All right, good evening, everyone. I probably owe you an apology for wasting your time. This is the 28th episode, I believe, of our Librarian run, but I'm going to need to reconsider my approach, most likely. We are going to try one more run at the Forsaken Reach, but I think I'm going to have to admit that I'm not going to be able to create duplicates of books like I thought I could. And it's because I've been looking at the inside of the game a little bit. I haven't actually been looking at the JSON files for the game proper, but what I have been doing is looking at my save. So for those of you wondering how you can access that, you can do browse files. And I'll just take a quick second here to open it up. Again, I didn't go over this with a fine-tooth comb because I think it's fun to still have some mysteries. But this file has actually changed since the last time I've looked at it. So this is just Visual Studio Code. If you don't have that on your... So first of all, Visual Studio Code is free. You're welcome to use that however you want. Maybe you don't want to download an editor. Anything from regular Notepad to Notepad++, essentially anything that you use to open text documents will open the save file. So this is save.json. I actually sometimes wonder if it is actually true JSON or because I think I tried opening one of these things in Python at some point and it got crabby with me, but that's a separate conversation for another time. So one of the things I've noticed that's changed is they actually seem to keep track of the number of times certain things have happened. So I don't know if this winds up being... keep in mind, this kind of speculation really does not help, because if anything, it just winds up building expectations that are completely unreasonable. So just to be clear, this is wide open speculation on my part. So number one, this might just be interesting data to them. I can't see how this would be set. Well, I guess Unity has some sort of analytics feature. So maybe this would use analytics. I would assume that for it to be really helpful as far as analytics are concerned, it would be kind of nice to know the order in which these things are happening. I don't know if the summaries are as useful. But in any case here, there are certain things, that, you can see Visions defeated 51, Visions risk 51, right? This is the number of season of Visions that have been popping up. Number of times I've gotten sick, 27. So I found this really interesting. When we've gone to explore Cabaret 8, but then there was one Cabaret Glimpse. There was Cabaret Pleasure, right? We've had 3 contentment from the Ecdysis Club. But what I noticed here is unique elements manifested. The other thing that's interesting about this, right, is if you take a look, so we've got rows A through P. So Rose has never been a prisoner for us. Actually, Rose was our first rival. So I suppose I can see the rival, but maybe not rival C and D. We've never had them as a follower. But it would make sense, right? If you have a named character, you don't want somebody who has died to suddenly show up as the upgraded version. So I can sort of see this makes sense. Moorlands would logically be, one of the first locations I find. Likewise here, right? We've got Rhaenyra, again, A through D. Now it'd be wonderful if we had Rhaenyra as a follower, but we don't. But what's also noticeable here, right, is these unique texts. And these are all sort of showing up. So I may have actually made a mistake by translating the existing text that I have. But in this particular case, I suspect what may be happening in these cases is the fact that these unique texts have shown up at least once may be affecting how the Forsaken Reach is being drawn from. So even if I don't necessarily have these texts in my Like even if the untranslated version of the text isn't, you know, in my possession, it may be just simply saying that, okay, you've already had a copy of this text, so you're not going to get this from the Forsaken Reach. So in any case, and there's a bunch of other stuff here, right? So, you know, it's keeping, you basically, if you want to see all of your different, you know, all of the different things on the desk, you should be able to find them here. But again, I don't want to spend too much time focusing on that. But given the fact that the game, sorry, I'm just gonna get my settings back to where I wanted them. Obviously, I don't use I don't use Visual Studio with that amount of zoom, but I realize the text is not the easiest thing to look at. So, I mean, the file's enormous. It's 19,583 lines long. So clearly, I'm not going to be looking at the whole thing here. And sorry, when I was talking about the speculation, the one thing I was thinking of is like the one thing that might be kind of interesting is if in a future update, you know, they do actually have certain reactions from the game based on the fact that, you know, you've been spamming this one action over and over and over again. Presumably having a save like that enables that behavior, but, you know, it's up to Weather Factory to decide what they want to do with it. Also, I mean, the fact that you can mod the game, presumably you can, you know, you can add your own little twists and turns, I suppose. But in any case, this is, so the fact that I have not been seeing new texts, even though I would expect certain text to be showing up in my possession at this point, this is making me think that I'm on a bit of a fool's errand when it comes to getting more text. So, you know, we'll do another trip to the Forsaken Reach. I might even do 2. But I think at this point we need to start exploring the Shires and seeing what else I can do in terms of getting certain text, because I now have at least an indicator as to why I'm not seeing the number of texts, even though, you know, the full accounting of it would be to, you know, go through the, you know, once I've done my round of translation, then go through the Forsaken Reach and potentially get the text again. Now, I'll be honest with you, it does make me wonder. Oh, actually, yeah, this actually creates a really interesting dilemma for me. I'm gonna try something different for the Shires, actually. So it turns out that this actually might help me with some of the later texts. I'm gonna need to get really, really fancy. Ooh. Rhaenyra is going to pick up the Forsaken Reach. Eep. That's not good. I don't think there's anything I can do about that. And we got the notoriety. Oh man, this is just a this is a whole bunch of bad all at once. So Season of Despair, Connie Lee's on our trail. Rhaenyra's about to steal a location from us. Yep, there it is. So I am still gonna try the Forsaken Reach. Hopefully Rhaenyra fails and we can avoid the inconvenience. Okay, an opportunity to use a snare in this case. So snares I actually tend to find them not that effective. I also don't want Rhaenyra annoyed with me because I do actually want to recruit her at some point. Okay, no luck with the reputation. I'm going to need to employ my reason. Ooh. Wait a minute, did Connie... I guess Connie didn't succeed in... No, that's evidence against me. So I think I'm going to have to change it up a bit. I will start reading the text again, but... okay, so here's what we're going to do. First of all, back to the wood. I am disciplined. I am all discipline. I haven't lasted this long to give up so easily. We will make it to the wood, but I'm going to pull Leo out, and we're going to get one of my followers to get rid of the evidence. So we'll see how the vault went. My rival has ransacked this place. Whatever they've sought here, they've found it. Okay, so I think Rhaenyra, one step closer to their goal, 1 degree higher in the great machinery of the House of the Sun. Beware, if your rival's ascension reaches 7, they will win the game instead of you. Looking scary. Alright, so let's talk with Elizabeth. Please destroy the evidence. So we're going to take a different approach to... We're going to take a different approach to... I think this evidence is gonna get scooped up before I can destroy it. Yep. Okay. Well, the good news is we're going to see a pretty radical change in how we're approaching all of this. So basically, I need to contend with the fact that Rhaenyra is very close to achieving ascension, much closer than I am. I need to deal with the fact there's damning evidence against me. And I need to deal with the fact that at the moment, any trip to the Forsaken Reach is very unlikely to produce the kind of outcome I'm looking for. So there's a few things that I want to do here. Okay, yeah, so Mystique. So again, we got to be careful about... So there's basically two opportunities to fix this. Number one, Rhaenyra needs to get to 7. And then the Season of Ambitions needs to hit. So as long as I can keep Rhaenyra under wraps from, in those two instances, I'll be fine. But obviously my margin of error is quite a bit smaller than it was before. And the thing that's really irritating about that is, obviously, it didn't have to be this way. Like, there was certainly... Oh, did I? Yeah. No, this is not not unexpected. I am gonna have to throw Porter in though. Oh, cool. Alright, through the wood. The well in the wood is sacred to the Grail, the hour that hungers, and to the velvet, the hour that guards secrets. Tonight as I approached, it heaved with the velvet's moss, struggling waves of deep and vibrant green, pulsing again and again from its throat. It surged around my calves, rose to my thighs, and this morning I still feel the velvet's breath strong within me. Okay, expedition continues. Here we'll add the funds. Probably unlikely we're going to be able to throw Elizabeth in, but I am going to hold out to the last possible second. Also, I've not been paying attention. I actually need to be really careful about this dread. I could even be sinking myself by going to work like this. So I'm definitely going to do some painting. A likely deception, so we'll add Porter temporarily. Okay, good. Let's do painting. premature. I do want to keep a passion available for other things, but we can throw the mystique in at least. Okay, Season of Ambition, so this will be an example of how we can keep Rhaenyra at bay. Minion has returned, the evidence has been destroyed, I'm safe for now. Okay. So, and back in time for the... the expedition. We can pay for the paint. Watcher's Confusion, good news. Again, we're not expecting books out of this, although I'm hoping we get them. I can see the mistakes, but I can also see the end. Exceptional work. This is something special. It may provoke a reaction. Okay, treasures lie before us, so I'm really trying to string this out as far as I can. Looks like we didn't get contentment, which is a shame. Actually, we were rewarded with a ton of mystique, so... not an ideal outcome. Any staleness? No. Okay, I guess that's a small benefit. So I'm gonna just wring this out for a couple more seconds. Okay, so I'm going to need to use some reason on this. But what I can do now is I can use Rhaenyra as the subject. So then my evidence goes in instead. And essentially because I can use... essentially because I can keep doing these investigations, I can keep... I can keep Rhaenyra on lockdown indefinitely. But it comes at the cost of a reason. The other option I have, of course, is I can permanently disable her by arresting her. But I do want the option of being able to bring her into the cult. Delayed delivery, a barred door, a cramped space, a hidden cargo. So we're definitely taking a trip to the Ecdysis Club. And I may also keep my dream slot open for a little bit. Okay, optimism is the spice that saves. We're definitely going to keep Leo working overtime on our reputation. So I'm hoping we don't get night terrors. Okay, I got excited there for a second, but Kerner and Goethe is not good news. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave the Forsaken Reach be for a little while. And I'm going to employ a new strategy as far as expeditions go. And this is going to make my approach with Rhaenyra all the more important. Actually, I shouldn't have checked out the... shouldn't have checked out the secret history. I should have used something else. Okay, let's go... I got a bit of housekeeping to do here, so clear this out. Put the passion back. I'm going to temporarily leave my dream slot open. I'm going to hold on to my job for a little bit, and this is specifically because of the threat of the despair. I didn't appreciate I was at 2 until too late, and out of habit I used the furtive truth, but I should actually be doing something else with that right now. Okay, that was lucky. Okay. This place merits closer investigation. Now, we're not going to go to Lockwood Fen right away. A dancer enters from stage left, swathed in red bandages, tight as tendons. She peels one away, another, another, another. And Season of Ardors is coming up, so that's going to at least take some of the pressure off as far as Dread is concerned. I'm going to run the Inspector's position out right to the end, but this must have been a trick. One cannot remove garments so softly that the bones beneath the skin are visible. Bone as pink as peach flesh, organs nestle like grapes. The lights dim, gutter, go out. The stage's red star with them. All our lips are dry. Unfortunately, not what I needed from the Ecdysis Club. We're going to wait the 30 seconds. So basically everything's on hold until the despair is taken care of. Alright, that was very lucky with Leo. I'm still going to press that advantage. Okay, can't wait any longer. I could use the tentative evidence in this case, but I'm going to get used to bringing Rhaenyra in. Tonight, the performers pass among the audience, juggling knives or bottles of red glass, bending to bestow whispers or other gifts. Okay. Contentment from the Ecdysis Club. A dancer pressed a red glass cup to my mouth. Its lip was sharp. My mouth is bleeding, but the wine within was a strong wine. That actually should be sufficient to clear out the despair, and on top of that, we've got the vitality for the sickness, so that's the game showing a little bit of mercy after a tough opening. Odd nooks remain here in the quiet countryside here and there for those who know where to look. So we are going to focus our attention on... Oh, I shouldn't do the wood anymore. I should actually be going through the white door. So yeah, I'm going to turn my attention to the Shires for a bit, but I'm going to do it in an unexpected way. Sorry, the white door. Maybe I said the stag door. Anyway. I'm going to need to set this up for a little bit, and I guess I'll treat it like the Forsaken Reach. So obviously the Forsaken Reach didn't work out, but there is some... So again, if I could do it all over again, clearly I would prefer not to have to do multiple trips to the Forsaken Reach only to find out I couldn't accomplish the thing I wanted to. But now that I know... now that I kind of know how it works, there is actually a specific way that I'm going to approach this. And it does mean that I'm going to have more expeditions on the table than what I normally would have. So we'll run the Shires again. I should read the Secret Histories text. So many things rise from the well in the wood. Last night it was a swarm with wormy roots. The trees clustered and whispered. Perhaps they were welcoming the influx. I found a sleeping soul ensnared in the roots, and I helped them struggle free. When they wake, they will recall my face as I do theirs. Okay. A furtive truth, a detail smuggled in from an adjacent narrative. Don't speak this where you may be overheard. So, white door now. Although maybe I should have saved it for the sickness. Place merits closer investigation. When we go to the locations, I'll read their descriptions. Okay, Lodge of the Sage Knight. I'm happy for the Forgotten Chronicle. Last night I visited the Lodge of the Sage Knight. My hostess manifested as an elegant woman with fashionably short hair and dark glasses. No, she admits, I don't need them anymore, any more than I need eyes. Allow me my sentimentalities. But you've come here for knowledge, I expect. Here's a story I heard in my Karashim days. You're welcome to it, only remember me if you come to make the pilgrimage. Okay, so let's cure the sickness. Don't really have anything for Leo to do right now, so we're just going to leave the talk open for a bit. And no new leads, so I don't even have the option of doing anything but pick up Rhaenyra at this point, but I'm completely fine with that. Like, we have the reason to be able to put towards it. Now, I have had the option of going to the Stag Door. There's a way that I can actually move my Nock lore up to the level that I need. I've been reluctant to do that because I'm not entirely clear about what lore I'm going to have access to, and it's worth remembering that I am actually going to need higher level edge lore to be able to complete Commission for Jannings. So this is one of the reasons we've been in a holding pattern for a longer time, is that depending on how scarce lore is, I may not quite be willing. So, like, to a certain extent, the Society of the Holy Wound is nice, because you can, as long as you have any lore, unless it's secret histories, you can turn that into, you can turn that into Nock. But the drawback to that is it does leave you short on the other types of lore. Now, we've got plenty of materials that we can put towards, turning that into, materials that we can use in rituals to summon things, right? So if we're the Society of the Holy Wound, we know we're going to have Nock lore because, that's just how we that's how we found our cult. But the question then would be, where do the other components come from, right? I'm probably not going to sacrifice lore to summon something. But, give up an ingredient of some kind? Sure, we've got plenty, and we can get more because secret histories are fairly easy to get. But again, knowing what I know now, I may want to hang on to a bit of lore just to be able to fulfill commissions. Everything else can go into Nock, because, we do actually want to turn Rhaenyra into an ally, and that's going to involve using... I'm actually going to approach work slightly differently too. We're going to run out the timer. Last night I dreamt of a blue silk pavilion overlooking the cloudy labyrinth of the Bounds. I listened to the mistress of this place speak of other visitors. The Suppression Bureau come here. Did you know that? I think they hope to recruit me as an ally, she snorts derisively. After what they tried to do to Christopher, their folly is your fortune. I will tell you something that may help you if the Bureau ever troubles you. Sorry, I know I was like mid-thought and then I went on to different rails. But yeah, there's no major reason why I'm holding off on the inspector's position. It's just I have a lot of money and it gives me options to keep the work verb open. I am going to keep hammering away at the white door. We do increase our risk of fascination, but you have to pick your battles at some point. And the plan here is not to pursue the tentative evidence. The plan here is to always pursue Rhaenyra. As an inspector, obviously as another character, I would pursue Rhaenyra as a romantic interest. Okay, it's Karashim. So this is the one we've been looking for. So Drive through the downs to the coast where gray-green land meets Atlantic gray. Search along the road for signs to Carisham Town. You will rarely find it, even if you have visited before, and its inhabitants guard their secrets with curse and cudgel and fast-bolted door. Okay. Actually, if you can just give me a second here. So I did take some notes here. So there are 1, 2, 3. Six, 7, 8, 9. I think there are 9 texts that I might be able to make something of. Obviously that means there's a lot of trips to Carisham in my future, but let's keep exploring them for a little while. We will do at least one. I know, actually I'm already at the 30-second mark, so maybe we'll rush one in just for the sake of saying we did. Sorry, I meant to read that. So we need to get rid of that right away, otherwise we're not going to have the opportunity. Sickness is coming up, so we might as well use health. But yeah, especially because, you know, obviously this week's episodes we've been focusing a lot on the Forsaken Reach. The least I can do is give you one Carisham expedition. Right, I think I said I was going to leave the inspector job. Okay, so this is a great example of how the new... So the one thing I don't want to have happen is Rhaenyra pick up the... on the I don't want Rhaenyra to pick up on the whatchamacallit, the Season of Ambitions, because if it's a location, she potentially cuts out our ability to get a certain text. So, I guess the catch here is, so drive through the downs to the coast where the gray-green land meets Atlantic gray. Search along the road for signs of Carisham Town. You will rarely find it, even if you have visited before, and its inhabitants guard their secrets with curse and cudgel and fast-bolted door. This makes me think that I probably need Moth. And searching implies lantern, but... Slink along the streets to a once fine townhouse, surreptitiously case the back garden. Odd stories circulate about the woman who lives here. She might be an adept, a collector, or even a rare thing called empausa. We must be watchful. So we'll get a read of what we're up against and then adjust accordingly. Okay, so we are sick, but we can deal with that in future. We will go to the white door. Now I can approach the white door through the bounds. Now I can press my fingers to it, feel its chill, and watch it swing open. As it opens, my mouth closes, tightens, heals over like a lost deformity. Around and about me is the cobalt light of the manses. Expedition continues. The expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now, or I could send another follower. So, heart or winter to suppress this curse. We've got extra heart followers, so we'll add that there. And then awarded door, forge, or knock. So actually, we need to use the forge team on this because Neville's still just a believer. So, give it a few seconds. Okay. So now we're definitely guaranteed. I mean, there was never a doubt that Rhaenyra was going to be the target of our investigation, but we know for sure we're going to be employing our... we know for sure that it's going to be our reason that we need to apply. I don't hate a furtive truth, but let's try for something better. In last night's dream, I was in the lodge of the Sage Knight behind the white door. It is difficult to remember exactly how I came there, and the mistress of this place, the woman with the dark glasses, was nodding as if I had asked her a difficult question. Of course I hadn't. I lost my speech when I passed the white door. How is it that I can speak, she said to me. I didn't come here through the white door. I'm not proud of what I did to come here, so let me tell you about something else. Okay, so we will take the erudition. Just set that aside. We want to improve our health now. And yes, we'll leave everything else aside for now. Send to the pages. What hungers drive me? I am discipline. I am all discipline. I haven't lasted this long to give up so easily. Watcher's confusion. Their bewilderment is our opportunity. Will pass in silent secrecy. So the curse is a huge worry for me here, but again, we gotta work with what we've got, right? I do also need to add money at some point, but I'm gonna keep throwing forge people at it. Okay, so we're back to health. Sorry, I should have read the text. Sick room grows close and stale. Time to get up. And we'll wait out the inspector job. The temptation is past for now. Alright, Tristan will almost certainly shatter this warded door. Call upon the Forge of Days, who will end all nights. So, Connie hasn't found anything, which is good. Season of Visions is coming up, so it's possible we may have to deal with that in the Lodge of the Sage Knight. All doors must open as all lives must end. This door has found its end here today. Now, in this case, we just need to add the 1 funds to get past the curse, and we've already got our two heart followers on this. So. Okay. Subtle fracture, that's quite good for us, actually. Last night, in the great pavilion above the grey sprawl of the Bounds, a woman, who once called herself Teresa Gallagher, sat on gilt fringe cushions and offered me a horn cup of dream wine. The wine is imaginary, she explained, but the cup is not. To navigate the Mansus, one must understand the distinction. Perhaps one day you'll join me on the pilgrimage, or I'll join you. So here, let us share a secret. And her breath tickled my ear. So I'm gonna move up Laidlaw, Slee, and Clovette first, and then Neville. Not that I dislike Neville, it's just, again, I have the option of moving Neville up if for some reason I let Subtle Fracture decay, whereas these three, it's actually quite a bit more difficult to do. So Laidlaw has begun to understand the limitations of ingenuity and the power of sacrifice. My follower will kneel as a novice and rise as an initiate. I will administer the necessary oaths myself. I'm safe for now. My adversary has not enough evidence to bring a case against me, and they found no new clues. It's also worth mentioning, because I've put Rhaenyra on ice, we don't have... there isn't the possibility of the detectives being murdered, except by my own orders. Okay, logistical difficulty. Supplies are low. Unless I send more funds, we'll have to abandon the expedition. Okay. Always worried about the Season of Despair, but we'll put a brave face on it. Alright, call upon the Ringyu who is renewed. We are strong enough in heart to be almost entirely secure against the curse. Ugh! So, Fleeting Reminiscence will deal with this. It just feels bad every single time that goes through. To she who is flesh, I offer my wounds. To she who is stone, I offer this moment, where my old self divides from my new. To she who came from light, I offer my secrets. The door is opened. Laidlaw has learnt the cleverer uses of fire and copper, wax, and acid. Okay, I think it might be premature to put a... Well, actually, we can't put a heart follower on this yet, because Clovette's just a believer. Okay, so again, we wait not exactly the full 88 seconds, but close to it. The curse clings, of course it does. There's a price to be paid when one trespasses in a place like this. Someday soon, the curse will tighten around us. I think this is going to be a huge liability. Dormant Fifth Eye Curse. The Fifth Eye Curse has not yet taken effect. So I may want to think about how I can get around that. I think I need a large amount of heart for that. Last night, I visited the Lodge of the Sage Knight. My hostess manifested as an elegant woman with fashionably short hair and dark glasses. No, she admits, I don't need them any more than I need eyes. Allow me my sentimentalities. But you've come here for knowledge, I expect. Here's the story I heard in my Carisham days. You're welcome to it. Only remember me if you come to make the pilgrimage. Actually, if it's heart, I don't think there's a way that I can move that up. Yeah, we're boned. All right. Let's see if it was worth it. Last room. Nothing remains to bar our way. Search the cellar first, then the upper rooms. We don't want to be trapped. Okay. On the topmost floor is an altar to the sun divided, which could be one of many hours. Sweep the items there displayed into a carpet bag. Let's make haste back to the streets. So first of all, we've got those indignities perpetrated by the deceitful fraternity of Obliviots. This book is famous for the near incoherent fury of its tone, as for the knowledge it contains, in Latin. Another Byzantine tinct, because why not? Betty's blade. A cut from this blade will not cease bleeding until the wound is healed. One account has it that Betty was a knife-collecting surgeon highwayman in 18th century Toulouse. Another claims Betty is only the bastardization of an Arabic word for mosquito. And we've got all of our people. Okay, so I guess I need to decide whether or not I want to... I think I am actually going to bring Leo in on reputation recovery. And while we do that, we'll just use up some furtive truths. Now, the biggest threat to me right now is this Fifth Eye Curse, because we're going to have to deal with that every single time we go to Carisham, and I actually fear that more than I fear my people being hit by the Watchers. But again, I mean, this is what we signed up for, right? I didn't do the challenge because it was going to be easy. But you may be getting an idea in terms of why I'm doing it in this particular order. I will explain this in the next episode, which should be next Mondays. But in this case here, I think it's fair to say that the Forsaken Reach is not going to yield any books. And what I want to try and do here is I want to try a different approach in the Shires, because if this works the way that I think it will, it might mean that I can get some duplicates of text. And if I don't get duplicates of text, then I really need to think about what kind of victories I can go for. But all of that will be happening next week. Thank you again for your patience, both with the Forsaken Reach, but also with the extended episode. I hope you'll have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next one.